Well, first off, I'm sorry that this video is going out so late. As a matter of fact, it's 8 p.m. on Tuesday night. The reason why it's going out so late is because yesterday, when I normally would be watching Raw at 8 o'clock, I was actually working until 8:15, didn't get back until after 8:30, and by that time I was like, you know, I'm just going to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, and I didn't feel like taking notes. So instead of taking notes, what I decided to do was save it till tonight. So that's exactly what I did. I got off work at 5 o'clock and watched Raw again just to make my notes, make sure everything was good to go. And now I'm recapping Raw. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight, obviously. Now, a lot of things coming up. AJ right now is under the weather. I don't know when he'll be returning. Hopefully soon. Hopefully tomorrow at the closest convenience. I'm hoping for this at this point. So if he is able to return tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow we'll be watching The Nut Job, finally. And then on Thursday, I have some plans, actually. So hopefully the weather, the horrible, horrible weather doesn't ruin my plans for Thursday. If that is the case, I'm going to be very agitated, obviously, at the weather. And I'm going to want to fight snow. And I don't mean Al. Or Mike, apparently, who R-Truth think Michael Cole is now. But anyway, I'll talk about that in a minute. Now, this weather sucks. Just straight up sucks. Number one, it's right at this very moment, it's 15 degrees outside. I know what you're saying, oh, and it was colder than that before. And I was like, yeah, you're right, it is. And it's going to get colder than that. As a matter of fact, it's actually supposed to get into the single digits by the end of the evening. And by the end of the evening, I mean really, really early this morning when I'm sleeping or laying in bed watching the Disney Channel. Whichever comes first. Now, tomorrow I am working, and they already announced school close, which sucks big time, because today, because of people being stuck because of the snow, I was left by myself. Obviously there were managers there, I get that, but I was the only employee. I was the only employee until 5 o'clock. Tomorrow will not be the case. I will actually have another employee joining me at 2, so we'll be getting that taken care of that way. This Friday actually closed, which is so bizarre. I don't like it. Hopefully this is not something that stays the same, because this will mess up a lot of things if I have to work Fridays, because I said I can't work Fridays. I just can't, because Fridays are taping day, and Friday's also the day that we record other the taping day, we watch the movies. So luckily we're only getting I, Frankenstein this week. So once we get that done, we'll go back to here and film the review. I'll get it out on the channel as soon as possible, and I guess Saturday night or Sunday at some point we'll film the verses, and that will be taken care of. Now this Thursday is going to be the huge, huge Universal Orlando Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley webcast. That's going to be on Thursday, and also very looking forward to that. We'll get all the details about Diagon Alley, and then I can throw out a video to you guys about that. This Thursday will also be, let me make sure I got the dates right. Yeah, this Thursday is also going to be my the video that AJ and I shot talking about our predictions for the BAFTAs. That's going to be this Thursday. Next Thursday will be the Film Independent Spirit Awards, and unless things change, the first Thursday of February, we're going to be doing our 100% official Oscar predictions. So, obviously I haven't got a chance to talk to you guys about anything because I've been away. And before I get started with anything more, I do want to shout out all of the awesome people that watch these videos. And we are doing quite good for ourselves, actually. I'll actually show you at this moment. I'm going to go right on camera, right at this very moment. We are setting pretty at 412 subscribers, and we have 24,432 hits on the channel. I really wish I could say that's on every video, but I can't. I can say that's views overall, and that's awesome. So I want to thank all of you. And I want to throw a special shout out to you know who you are, Mythos Troll, who is someone who as time after time has taken me to my limits a little bit, taken me to task a little bit about some things on Twitter, talking about SeaWorld and things like that. But when it comes down to it, Mythos Troll is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, fans of pop. And I want to throw out a big shout out to him right here and now. Shout out to Mythos Troll, and I don't know if I will be seeing you this year or not. Maybe it's possible. I will be home again in September, so September 19th I will return back, obviously for opening weekend of Halloween Horror Nights, and then I move over with my dad and my stepmom to Disney property to the All-Stars on the 22nd. I'll be there until the 30th of October 1st. I haven't quite decided yet, probably October 1st, because I know myself too well. Now, that's been taken care of. I want to thank Mythos Troll, actually, for that, and all of the awesome subscribers and viewers of this wonderful YouTube channel that we call Pop. So, thank you out there for everything. Now, another thing I want to throw out is my mom, if you guys don't know, if I didn't mention it on this channel, my mom's a big mark for Katy Perry. And I said the other day, I was like, Mom, don't worry, very soon it'll be announced somehow Katy Perry will go on tour again, and she'll come to Columbus, and she'll come to Cleveland, and she'll come to Pittsburgh, and we can go. And my mom jumped at the choice, and she basically said that, yeah, she would go. And I was like, you're going to pay? And she's like, yeah, I'll pay. And I was like, all right, I'll find out, and I'll let you know. Well, news broke today, actually, that is going to happen. July 22nd at the Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Katy Perry's Prism Tour will be alive in a living color, if you will. And looks very possible that my mom and myself will be in attendance. So, for those of you that want video, obviously, of the concert, that's not going to happen. But I can also tell you about what I thought of the concert in itself if I end up getting to go. It's not a guarantee or anything, it's just something that possibly could happen. And my mom basically said that she'd rather go to Pittsburgh versus Columbus or Cleveland. Ironically enough, Columbus, that date is August 13th. So I will not elaborate any further than that. I will just say that that's a very interesting day for that concert. Now, I will say also right now, another thing, the crappy weather, and how cold it is outside, and the fact that my mom's in Cincinnati, you know, WKRP, Cincinnati, with the I on the end of it, not an A. Now, since my mom's in Cincinnati, Ohio right now, basically she is obviously not here, and she missed the big snowfall, and she didn't have to drive in it, which is awesome. Now, she'll be coming back on Saturday, way early morning, probably wake me up in the process. And then Saturday night, I gotta work, so I will actually get the ride to work. And then Sunday is the January WDW Today Live podcast, as well as the 2014 WWE Royal Rumble. And that brings us to where we are right now. So, let's talk about Raw from last night, shall we? Well, the show opened up with a very nice tribute to Martin Luther King. Obviously, it's Martin Luther King Day, and it was a very fitting tribute. And it was a really awesome video package done by the awesome WWE video package putter-togetherers. I don't know why I use those terminology when it comes down to it. They have some of the best video packages ever, honestly. I gotta give it up to anybody in WWE that is putting together these tremendous video packages. This was also done to the song Difference Maker by the band Need to Breathe. So that started off the show. Now, when we actually got in the ring, What's Best for Business going to open up the show, and basically they come to welcome back Batista. Triple H says, I guess you could say we kind of evolved together. Here comes Randy Orton out, of course, whining like he always does. And Stephanie takes him to task and basically just scolds him like a child for his brutal attack on John Cena Sr. because he had to take his aggression out on someone when he couldn't beat Kofi Kingston last week. So, Orton blames Triple H and Stephanie for everything, especially with this rematch coming up against John Cena at the Royal Rumble this coming Sunday. Was it best for business to bring back Brock Lesnar or bring back Batista? You know, you talk about the WWE Network, there wouldn't be a network without Randy Orton. Triple H basically says, you know why you're champion, Orton? The reason why you're champion is because they believe in him. He's the complete package, and somewhere, some way, he lost faith in himself. Basically, he made some bad life choices, some bad decisions. Triple H says, Randy, you need to be a man and you need to fix these things. Fix what is broken. Tonight, I'll give you that opportunity. Tonight, you'll face off against Kofi Kingston yet again. And Triple H put a camera in the back so everyone can see when John Cena arrives to the building so they can confront each other and he can take care of that kind of business. But above all, no matter what happens, you will do this alone. So, we hear some very familiar music. I Walk Alone blares. And here comes Douche-Tista. Why do I call him Douche-Tista? Because he's wearing sunglasses, indoors, mind you. I know that's Batista's deal. He's wearing skinny jeans and a way too tight white jacket. Dude looks like a jacked up pit bull. Totally. 100%. So he comes out and basically says that he's going to answer a bunch of questions in very short order. Why is he here? He's here for 3 simple reasons. Number 1, he's going to win the Royal Rumble this Sunday. Number 2, he's going to go on to WrestleMania in the main event. And number 3, thus becoming the brand new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Doesn't matter if it's Randy Orton or if it's John Cena or someone else. Batista is here. Deal with it. So basically, he ends the promo with the last line in Steve Polychronopoulos by Adam Sandler. Okay, first off, Batista's skinny jeans, yeah, that's gots to go. So, not much of the way of an altercation. They're obviously going to save it for Sunday, and they're going to save it for Elimination Chamber, most likely. Now, it was an okay opening for what it was. Randy Orton, of course, whining like he likes to do, and getting taken to task by Triple H and Stephanie. And that's pretty much what we've grown to believe is going to be the case every single time. Now, this has been a very nice breath of fresh air in WWE with not having to see any of this what's best for business garbage on my television. This, on the other hand, since they're not going after one person specifically, other than Orton, but I care less about Randy Orton, obviously, this is fine. I have no issue with this. And basically, this puts it into everybody's mind that Batista is the person that most likely is going to win the Rumble on Sunday. Whether it's right or wrong, and it's definitely wrong, I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion, unless we get a surprise, and I'm very much hoping that's exactly what happens. So, we get our first match of the evening. We get 6-man tag team action like we always do. The Shield, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and the United States Champion Dean Ambrose taking on the WWE Tag Team Champions Goldust and Cody Rhodes, the Brotherhood, as well as the Intercontinental Champion Big E Langston. Putting more fuel on the fire that we're going to get a title unification match between Ambrose and Big E at Elimination Chamber. Do you really need to get rid of another championship? It's anyone's guess, but I would say that the U.S. title's days are numbered. If they're going to get rid of one, then that's probably the belt they're going to get rid of. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's going to be too long before Randy Orton or John Cena or Batista or Brock Lesnar or Daniel Bryan or whomever has the WWE World Heavyweight Championship attached to their name is going to probably get rid of the big gold belt, the WCW belt, the NWA belt, whichever you want to call that championship. And they'll just use the WWE Championship, and that be your Unification Championship. But it could go either way, and I think, honestly, if they're going to give the U.S. Championship and the Intercontinental Championship to one person, I'm pretty sure they're going to keep the Intercontinental title because it has a lot more of a lineage in the WWE than the U.S. Championship does, even though the WCW/NWA lineage of the United States Championship is a lot more enriched, to be totally honest. But Vince didn't create the U.S. title. He created the Intercontinental Championship, so we know which belt will stay if one has to go. So, let's go to the finish, shall we? So, Ambrose goes for a clothesline. Big E ducks. He goes for a back elbow. Big E ducks. Goes for the big ending. So, Seth Rollins pulls Ambrose off. Big E tosses Seth through the middle rope to the floor. Goldust hits a somersault, Cactus Jack style, onto Seth Rollins on the floor, off the ring apron. So, Big E charges in, to the corner where Ambrose is sitting on the middle turnbuckle, and a boot up by Ambrose, and Ambrose leaps off the middle rope, gets caught, overhead release, belly-to-belly suplex by the Intercontinental Champion. He comes off the ropes, runs the ropes, Ultimate Warrior style, and nails that huge big splash. Roman Reigns makes the save, and Cody goes into the ring, ducks Roman's clothesline, catches him with a beautiful disaster, but this time gets stopped with a vicious Superman punch. Tremendous spot that is shown numerous times, and deservingly so. Goldust comes off the ropes and gets caught with a huge spear which breaks him in half. And Big E Langston stops any momentum Roman Reigns has by clotheslining Roman Reigns. Big E comes off the ropes, and Ambrose catches him with a follow-up knee. Tag into Seth Rollins as Big E Langston is doubled over. He comes off the ropes and lights out, blackout, for Big E Langston, and 1, 2, 3, the Shield win again. Good match, actually. Enjoyable match. I like the finish. Really hot finish of this match. I enjoy that very much. And Big E Langston getting pinned, showing some chinks in the armor, potentially, for Big E's eventual Intercontinental title versus United States title showdown with Dean Ambrose. You don't have Ambrose pin him, you have Seth Rollins pin him. So, you've created something right there. Now, if Ambrose can't get the job done, Rollins has already done it. So, that could create more collusion between the Shield. And that's what we're leaning towards. Isn't it? So, Daniel Bryan comes out. And I enjoy these every time. Daniel Bryan comes out, and thank God he's actually cleared to wrestle now. So, he's officially cleared. He can actually work at the Rumble, and he's going to. So, I gotta make sure I got this right. Bryan comes out and basically says, when he joined the Wyatt family, he had a plan. But, you know, if you want to take down someone with a Messiah complex, you gotta take them down both physically and mentally. So what did he have to do? He had to do some things he wasn't proud of. Keep friends in the dark and absorb the punishment to fit in with the family and stand side by side by 3 men he despises. Daniel Bryan knows that the Wyatts are all about follow the buzzards. He doesn't follow anybody. Last week he became the buzzard and he chewed on the carcass of Bray Wyatt. See, he had to wait for the very exact moment. The exact moment when it was last week inside a steel cage where he got Bray Wyatt one-on-one. See, the truth is, Bray talks a lot about fate, and faith. The truth is that Daniel Bryan just simply exposed him. This Sunday at the Royal Rumble, it's been clear that both Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are both competitors in the 30-man over-the-top rope Royal Rumble. So that means that Bray Wyatt is by himself, and that means Bray Wyatt is ripe for the pickings, and Bray Wyatt will have to face Daniel Bryan one-on-one. So Bray shows up and says, a man who is not willing to die for something is not fit to live. Where I come from, being a traitor is a sin of the highest magnitude. You didn't expose me like you think, you only exposed yourself. Because only a coward would use his free wings to fly right back into the cage from whence he escaped. These people lorded you. They cheered for you. As you stamped me out. As you battered me, Bryan. Traitor. They only look up to you. Bryan, because they chose to kneel. Traitor. What I want you to do now is I want you to go home and hug your mother. I want you to tell her you love her. I want you to tell her you're sorry, because everything that happens to you from this point on is your fault. God, I love Bray Wyatt's promos. So amazing as usual, and they're going to have an altercation at the Royal Rumble on Sunday. Obviously, Bray Wyatt's going to lose, and that's the right thing to do, and hopefully, with any luck, Bryan will show back up as a competitor in the Royal Rumble and go on to win the whole thing. That, my friends, is truly what's best for business. So we get a singles match. Apparently there was a match on SmackDown, which I did not get to talk about, with Xavier Woods getting a victory over Fandango. Well, this is the rematch, apparently, and R-Truth is on commentary. Of course, Truth and Consequences are still being pushed. And Truth calls Michael Cole Mike Snow over and over again. Don't understand what it means. Maybe it was an inside joke. Who knows? So, we go through this match. It's very short. Clothesline, duck, back elbow, duck, and Xavier Woods goes for a satellite, and he nails it. Satellite head scissors take over when Fandango reaches up to his feet. 4 snap jabs, side headbutt, comes off the ropes, big forearm, and he charges in with a front drop kick. He charges in, Fandango ducks out of the way, and he goes chest and throat first across the middle rope. This allows Fandango to pick him up and hit a devastatingly vicious Falcon Arrow, go up top, hit the perfect 10, and 1, 2, 3. After this match is over, once again, for the second week in a row, we spot Emma in the crowd with her hashtag Emma-taining sign, and that's all she wrote there. Doing her, of course, her Emma dance, which is awesome. Now, again, once I stress this, Emma being a member of the WWE Divas roster is essential right now. Emma's the #1 contender to Paige's NXT Women's Championship. I didn't say NXT Divas title. For those of you that don't know about me recapping NXT, I know I've missed a couple weeks, and I'm sorry about that. We'll hopefully get back to business this week. Now, she is Paige is the women's champion. It's called the NXT Women's Championship, like it should be called the WWE Women's Championship. Bring back the old Women's Championship. And I think that's a really good idea, especially now. That's a better idea than get rid of the stupid butterfly belt. Now, really be awesome to see Emma on WWE television because she belongs there. She really does. She's really entertaining, she's gorgeous, and she can work. So it's going to be really interesting to see when Emma does show up again on Raw this coming Monday night, or if she shows up in the crowd at the Royal Rumble, considering the fact that we're supposed to have, I would say, announced on SmackDown sometime tonight when they do the SmackDown tapings, that you will get a Divas Championship match, AJ Lee putting the title on the line against Naomi of the Funkadactyls. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So, Brad Maddox and Kane are talking. Stephanie shows up and basically tells Brad to skedaddle. Kane, you really need to control yourself. What you did on SmackDown by slamming CM Punk last week was completely uncalled for. See, you're not allowed to put your hands on anyone for the rest of your future. And on top of that, you must apologize straight to CM Punk's face. So Kane comes out, he calls Punk out. Instead of yelling it's clobbering time, he actually yells it's apology time, which was a nice touch on Punk's part. Kane has a very solemn apology. Punk kind of like, I didn't hear you, speak up. So Kane does it again, and Punk apologizes himself, says he's sorry. So he starts forearming Kane twice, and then he nails the running knee, which knocks Kane out of the ring. Brad Maddox comes out and says, okay, Punk, we understand you want to fight, but it's not going to be against Kane, it's going to be against one of these two guys. And the New Age Outlaws come out. So, they play a little paper, rock, scissors, and badass Billy Gunn is the person who obviously gets to go one-on-one against CM Punk with the Road Dogg on commentary. So that brings us to our next match. CM Punk against badass Billy Gunn. Punk goes for the go to sleep, and it gets countered. Billy Gunn pushes him into the ropes, and standing drop kick. It's like I'm calling a Dolph Ziggler match. 1, 2, and Punk kicks out. So Billy Gunn goes for the suck it, and what does Punk do? He high kicks him. Billy gets knocked to the floor. Punk sets up the tope, and it's nothing but misdirection because when he charges in, he goes under the bottom rope and attacks the Road Dogg on commentary, laying him out momentarily. Punk gets back in, ducks Billy's clothesline, high leg lariat, the double axe handle, and the double axe handle again, and he catches him with a spinning neck breaker. 1, 2, Billy Gunn kicks out. So he hits the running knee, goes for the Bulldog, Billy Gunn tosses him off, Road Dogg gets on the apron, Road Dogg gets knocked off the ring apron by Punk, and Billy catches him with a tilt-a-whirl slam. 1, 2, and Punk kicks out. So he goes for the big splash in the corner, he misses, drops him like a bad habit. Punk goes up top for the Savage Elbow, and Road Dogg drags him out of the ring. Punk nails the tope, this time on the Road Dogg, and when he gets up, he gets mowed over by a clothesline from Billy Gunn. Tossed him back in, boot in the midsection, goes for the Famouser. duck out, go to sleep, 1, 2, 3. So Brad goes to congratulate Punk on the win. Kane stops him, he's like, I'll handle this. It's like, congratulations on your victory tonight. You like to call yourself the best in the world. Well, you'll get another chance to prove that this Sunday against 29 other competitors. Because all 29 competitors in the Royal Rumble, it's all by chance. It's not predetermined. I said 29, not 30. You, my friend, will go in at number 1. So you have to go bell to bell to prove you are the best in the world in order to get to WrestleMania and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Now, don't forget, there's only 2 men that have gone bell to bell at the Royal Rumble. I'm saying number 1. One is something they talk about all the time. It happened in 1995. An awesome performance with the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels winning over the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith, which, of course, was the 1 and 2 that started out the Rumble. The other one, it's a little bit gray area. 2004, Chris Benoit won the Royal Rumble at number 1. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about that. So, 2 men have won the Royal Rumble from number 1, and this Sunday, CM Punk will try to become the 3rd. Don't think that's going to happen, but it'd be an interesting storyline if it does. There's a really awesome tribute. WWE does an amazing tribute to the tremendous career of Mae Young, and it's sad that we lost her, but she had such an amazing life and an amazing career. I mean, she almost got all the way to her 100th birthday. She has been with the WWE forever. And the great thing is now, once again, Lillian Ellison, the fabulous Moolah, and her can once again be together. Like it should be. And I'm sure they're having some amazing matches somewhere out there. So, fitting tribute to the career and the life in general of Johnny Mae Young, and WWE, once again, tremendous video packages, and especially a very sad remembrance of her life and of her career, and it goes through everything. I mean, the comedy stuff, the stuff with the Dudley Boys, obviously the Mark Henry stuff, just everything under the sun, and the career of Mae Young. So, props to WWE for coming up with that, and she will be definitely missed. And that's another reason I truly believe that the Women's Championship needs to come back, because the butterfly belt is just ridiculous. I think AJ should destroy it, and it would fit her character really if she does. And I think she should go. Remember what Mr. Perfect and the Genius did to the WWF World Title of Hulk Hogan's on Saturday Night's Main Event? They took a hammer and they destroyed that sucker. So that's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. AJ needs to destroy the butterfly belt, get it completely off television, and bring back the Women's Championship like it belongs. Just food for thought. And our next matchup, another tremendous matchup between Rey Mysterio Jr. and Alberto Del Rio. Of course, Alberto Del Rio on a collision course with Batista at the Royal Rumble on Sunday. Let's talk about this match, shall we? Mysterio with a whip in, charges in, and Rey goes shoulder first into the ring post. They put him on the top turnbuckle, charges in, and Rey pulls himself up. Del Rio goes shoulder first into the ring post himself. Rey hits a spinning headbutt off the top rope, comes off the ropes, ducks Del Rio's clothesline, and tilt-a-whirl countered into a satellite head scissors takeover on Alberto Del Rio. He charges in, and Del Rio backdrops him, lands on the ring apron, and a forearm and a shoulder thrust. Mysterio goes up top, seated senton on Del Rio, comes off the ropes, gets caught with a boot in the midsection. So Del Rio goes for a sunset flip, gets countered, and buzzsaw kick by Rey Mysterio, 1-2, and Del Rio kicks out. So Mysterio is picked up and spun around into a head scissors. 619 countered. He catches him and catapults him into the turnbuckles. Nails the GSK, 1-2, and Mysterio kicks out. So he goes for the cross arm breaker, gets countered, victory roll into the Rana, and 619 goes up top, drops the dime, 1, 2, Del Rio grabs the bottom rope at 3. So he goes to the middle rope, he leaps off, gets caught with the ocean, going for the Ocean Cyclone, wheelbarrow, face buster, and cross arm breaker, and that's the tap out. Nice finishing sequence, as usual. Here comes Batista. Del Rio goes to attack him. He catches him with this ugly, ugly looking spine buster. Look terrible. I'm kind of talking like old school, like David Otunga, like back when he first got into WWE. That kind of ugly spine buster. But you gotta give it up. Dave hasn't done this stuff for a while, so he's gonna take a bit to work off the ring rust. Yeah, a Royal Rumble's a really good idea to work off the ring rust. So he basically just decides he wants to end him right here and now. So he boots him in the midsection, does the thumbs up, thumbs down, of course, and not a Batista bomb, because that would have split the skinny jeans. He does a release power bomb and leaves Del Rio laying. After the match is over, after the segment's over, he goes to the ringside area and gives a big hug to Nonito, the Filipino Flash Donaire. And he is a former WBO and WBC boxing champion. And I had to look that up, sorry. So yeah, there's all that. And yeah, interesting. So hopefully no skinny jeans on Sunday. No, never again. You look like a jacked up pit bull. And that's how it works. So Big Show comes out and he makes fun of Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar gets called out. Brock, of course, obliges him. He gets all the way to the bottom. He's like, I'm leaving. Of course, Brock doesn't fight for free, and he ends up changing his mind. He comes in the ring, and they go nose to nose. Lesnar goes for a double leg, and Big Show ends up muscling him over the top rope to the floor. Brock takes a steel chair, starts destroying announce tables. Well, the announce table itself. And Heyman with a distraction. Lesnar grabs the chair, he gets in the ring, Big Show spins his head around and of course stops dead in his tracks Brock Lesnar's chair shot attempt, and Brock of course in turn decides to throw a temper tantrum and destroy the monitor and just finally leaves. So WWE's done a great job of building the Big Show up as a legitimate threat to Brock Lesnar, even though he's going to be obliterated on Sunday, and that's how it should be. So we get our next match of the evening. It is a tag team match. Naomi and Cameron, the Funkadactyls, taking on the Divas champion, the cute and crazy AJ Lee, and her bodyguard, Tamina Snuka. To talk about Cameron's offense in this match, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. So we'll basically go from when Trinity or Naomi gets tagged in, and she nails a flipping clothesline on Tamina, and the snap Hurricane Rana, and she goes to the middle rope, spinning back elbow off the middle rope, drop kick off the ropes, and she gets mowed over with a vicious Yakuza kick. You know, the same one that almost killed Nikki Bella on SmackDown? Anyway, and she makes a tag to AJ. She skips around happily, and she gets rolled up in an inside cradle. 1, 2, 3. So, it was okay for what it was. Just building up the fact that we're getting AJ and Naomi at the Royal Rumble. I'm pretty sure that'll be announced tonight at the SmackDown tapings, because it's not on the website yet. So we get another tag team match. It's Jimmy and Jey Uso taking on Eric Rowan and Luke Harper of the Wyatt family. In the middle of the match, Bray pretty much cuts a promo, and he basically says that all the punishment that is being dealt out to the Usos, that's pretty much what the Wyatt family has in store for Daniel Bryan on Sunday. He says they are the Reapers and hell awaits him. So this allows for, we get back to live action here, and of course Jimmy with the Whisper in the Wind on Luke Harper, tagging to Jay, leaping clothesline, knocks Rowan off the ring apron, and Jay ends up catching with a Samoan drop. Running butt bump, Rikishi style obviously, super kicks Rowan off the ring apron, and they go for the Samoan suicide dive, which we have one connect, and the second one, Jimmy connects with his, obviously, on Eric Rowan, and the opposite side, Harper stops Jay dead in his tracks with a forearm. Catches him with a Michinoku driver, 1, 2, and he kicks out. So Bryan attacks Bray Wyatt from behind, nails Rowan when he tries to intercede, and Jay allows this distraction to roll up Luke Harper from behind, 1, 2, 3, and the Usos win again. So much for the Wyatt family facing the WWE Tag Team Champions at the Royal Rumble, because on the kickoff at 7:30 on all social media networks, you're going to see, for the WWE Tag Team Championships, the New Age Outlaws taking on the Brotherhood. And I predict we have new WWE Tag Team Champions, and this will lead to the eventual dissolution of the Brotherhood and Cody and Goldust turning on each other and finally getting their WrestleMania match that they've always wanted. Now, the Dusty Rhodes special guest referee may not happen, but there's still time to work it out. It's only January. Get our main event, and of course Randy Orton trying to cross the T's and dot the lowercase J's, finish some unfinished business, obviously, with Kofi Kingston. And he nails a vertical suplex, and he goes for the St. Louis uppercut, countered into a backslide, and mows him over with a big clothesline when Kofi gets back to his feet. 1-2 and a kick out. Goes for the snake bite DDT. Gets countered into the SOS, which is the same way that Kofi won on Raw last week. 1-2 and a kick out. So he just rams his shoulder as hard as he can into the face. Starts pounding away. John Cena has arrived, as the camera has shown us. So Kofi smartly grabs Orton's boot and starts stopping him. Orton's trying to get away, obviously, and Kofi's got him where he wants him. So Cena runs out. He finally puts his hands on Orton. Of course, official DQ win for Randy Orton. That's interesting. So they have a really lackluster brawl through the crowd. They go into a skybox up in the crowd, and they go all the way out of the building, and Orton jumps into a speeding vehicle and bombs out. That's how we go home on Raw. The go-home edition of the Royal Rumble, that's how we go home on Raw. Okay, let's talk Royal Rumble, shall we, before I get any more of my comments on the rest of the show. As of this very moment, I am actually looking at this right now. Thank you, WrestleZone. The current card for the Royal Rumble is as follows. The kickoff match at 7:30, like I said, the Brotherhood against the New Age Outlaws with the WWE Tag Team Championships on the line. You're going to see the grudge match, Daniel Bryan, the MVP of the WWE, taking on Bray Wyatt. You're going to see the Big Show against Brock Lesnar. And, of course, Randy Orton defending the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against John Cena in a match where there must be a winner. Now, currently, as of this very moment, we have the following involved in the 30-man over-the-top rope Royal Rumble. We have the intellectual savior of the unwashed masses, Damien Sandow. We have Jimmy and Jey Uso. We have Eric Rowan and Luke Harper of the Wyatt family. We have all three members of The Shield, Roman Reigns, the United States Champion Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins, as well as Rey Mysterio, Fandango, Xavier Woods, and R-Truth, Truth or Consequences. We have the Brotherhood, Cody Rhodes and Goldust. We have Biggie Langston. We have The Miz. We have Kofi Kingston, Alberto Del Rio, Batista, and the #1 entrant, CM Punk. So, if my math is correct, and I'm going to do this on the fly, and you're going to see me count, so you get to watch Owen think. This will be fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We have 19 names. 19 names means we have 11 people that could possibly be in the Royal Rumble. Now, who's going to be in the Rumble? You got to think Jake the Snake Roberts is probably going to be one of them. Deservingly so, right? I would say Hacksaw Jim Duggan, but he's going to be on the pre-show panel, so I don't think he'll be able to be in the actual match. Booker T, maybe? Maybe Kevin Nash, since he's going to be in Pittsburgh anyway? Possibly. That's a good, awesome chance, maybe. Maybe the return of Christian, or Sheamus, or even Dolph Ziggler if he's able to go. There's a lot of names. The biggest name, obviously, is Daniel Bryan. So who knows if Bryan's even going to be in the Rumble. I'd like to see Bryan in the Rumble. He deserves to be in the Rumble. I mean, what about some of the people that were at the old school Raw? Maybe Ric Flair in the Royal Rumble. Obviously, he's also going to be on the panel with Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Shawn Michaels, but Flair could still be in the Rumble. But then again, if Flair's in the Rumble, then why is Duggan not in the Rumble? So yeah, probably not. Why is Antonio Cesaro not in the Royal Rumble? Why is Jack Swagger not in the Royal Rumble? These are names that are obviously going to be in the Royal Rumble. Swagger and Cesaro will be in the Rumble, definitely. Who else is not in this thing right now? Kali's not in the Rumble. I don't care, but he's not in the Rumble. Brodus Clay's not in the Rumble. Tensai's not in the Rumble. There's a lot of names of people. Maybe Evan Bourne's going to come back. Maybe you'll see Tyson Kidd in the Rumble. Maybe we're going to see the NXT champion Bo Dallas in the Royal Rumble. Maybe we're going to see names of NXT in the Royal Rumble, like Tyler Breeze, or Sami Zayn, or Adrian Neville. Maybe they're going to be in the Royal Rumble. Maybe William Regal's going to be in the Royal Rumble. So many people could be in the Royal Rumble. It's staggering to try to figure out who it's going to be. As a matter of fact, very soon, in the next couple days, when I do my Royal Rumble sim on WWE 2K14, if I have the entire roster on the game, it's going to be really hard to do the Royal Rumble because I don't know who all is going to be in it. And the big question on my mind is Hulk Hogan in the Royal Rumble? It's possible. It's possible. I doubt it, but you never know. It's possible. What about Matt Hardy? He's going to be there he's going to be in Pittsburgh. Maybe the Hardys are going to be in the Royal Rumble. It's possible. Anything is possible at this point. You could see a lot of people return. Rob Van Dam, Chris Jericho. These are names that could be in the Royal Rumble. It's going to be interesting to see who rounds out this field. So, it's going to be really awesome. Looking forward to it. So, that's what we've got for the Rumble right now. As a go-home show, it's okay. Batista comes back. Can't Batista bomb Del Rio because he's wearing skinny jeans. Okay? Shield win, so that's interesting, knowing the fact that Biggie Langston actually lost to Seth Rollins. Fandango beats Xavier Woods, so he gets another win, which is always good. Kane is made to look like an ass by CM Punk, which of course will lead to them facing each other eventually. Not just house shows, actually on television. Naomi beats AJ, so of course she'll be getting a title shot, if not at the Royal Rumble. The Usos beat the Wyatts with the distraction from Daniel Bryan. And Kofi Kingston, well, he loses to Randy Orton by DQ thanks to John Cena. Mysterio and Del Rio have an amazing match, as usual, and Del Rio gets laid out, like I said, and Punk beats Billy Gunn. So, luckily the Royal Rumble sells itself. The show was okay. In places it was okay. Not a strong go-home, especially with the fact that Randy Orton got chased out of the building and bombed out. That was it. That was it. He's chased out of the building, bombed out. So, yeah. Kind of a lame ending for the Rumble go-home show of Raw. But interesting to see what happens on SmackDown this week. Obviously, that is the official go-home show, period, to the Royal Rumble on Sunday. So, I'll be watching, definitely. Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber are the last two WWE pay-per-views that are before the WWE Network launch, which launches the day after Elimination Chamber. In the early morning, you can pick up the on-demand content. After Raw is over, 11:05, you can pick up the Raw post-game, post-show, and also you can start getting some of the official WWE Network content. That is some of the special shows like Legends House and all the Countdown and a lot of the really awesome shows. The Monday Night War, which I'm really looking forward to because obviously I'm a WCW guy. So, yeah, really interesting to see what happens with this. And really interesting to see what happens. Who's going to show up at the Royal Rumble on Sunday? I named a bunch of names. Maybe somebody I didn't even name. It's possible. Who's going to win the Royal Rumble? All signs point to Batista as much as it shouldn't be and much as it doesn't need to be. We're looking at Batista and Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and I don't think that needs to happen. Another option, CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, and that would be awesome. I think there's a possibility that the person who wins the Royal Rumble puts their win up in the Elimination Chamber and loses it somehow, some way to Daniel Bryan, and that's how we get Bryan wrestling for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania like everyone wants, and get 70,000 plus chanting yes, and New Orleans, that would be phenomenal, and that's what WWE wants, obviously, because they're loving the yes chant, and they want to see 70,000 strong doing it. I talked about Mysterio and Sin Cara doing the match. Well, Sin Cara's not even on Raw before. Yeah, Sin Cara's probably going to be in the Royal Rumble, actually. It's not a name I mentioned, but I'm sure Unico, or Unikara in this case, is going to be in the Rumble. So, NXT talent, maybe, it's possible, who knows. Could we see the Ascension at the Royal Rumble? Maybe, anyone's guess. At any rate, that was the go-home show of Raw, and that's all she wrote here for this video. So, wrestling fans, I'll join you again later this week for, maybe, I'll try to do NXT and SmackDown. I got some time on my hands on Saturday, so I should be able to do that. And, of course, this Sunday is the Royal Rumble. I'll get that recap for you guys up on Monday. So, I don't work Monday at all. So, Monday I'm actually going to spend the time, watch the Royal Rumble, take notes, and I'll do a recap for you guys of the Royal Rumble. So, that'll be taken care of. In the meantime, if you like these videos, and I'm sure you guys do, because over 400 subscribers and almost 25,000 views, that cannot be wrong, then tell me about it. You can do it 4 different ways to help spread the word of Pop and the ongoing Popcaster revolution. You can go ahead and like our Facebook fan page, Sir Owen Disney Pop, and you can like us on Facebook that way. I'll start updating that very soon once I get some more people. And thank you out there who has liked the Facebook fan page. I very much appreciate it. All of us do. And on top of that, if you want to go old school on Facebook and you want to just be my friend, hi, I'm Owen. You know me by now. It's almost 600 videos. You should know me by now. I'm very easy to talk to. I'm very outgoing. It's Owen Disney on Facebook. And on top of that, if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's @SirOwenDisney. And finally, last but certainly not least, if you want to send your thoughts, comments, queries, and opinions about Pop, about wrestling, Disney, Universal, anything under the sun you want to talk about, me, Will, Ben, AJ, Molly, anybody on this channel or anything on this channel, things you want to see, different verses you want to see. I've had a couple of you out there talking about verses you want to see. I'll see what I can do about that. And if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to send me an email, sirowendisney@gmail.com. Yeah, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Zack Ryder and the Primetime Players in the Royal Rumble. I'm sure that happens. And where's Kurt Hawkins? Maybe he'll be in the Rumble. So, thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I gotta say about that.